Welcome to Chapter 14, Lesson 2, our lesson on geometry. Before we begin, let's review the vocabulary words we've learned so far. Yesterday we talked about a point. A point is a single dot or a single point or a single place in the world. If we were talking about a shape, for example, this notepad, the point could be just there at the edge or any one spot along here. We use a letter to describe the point so we know which point we're talking about. Then from a point you can make three different things. First, you can make a ray where you draw one point, keep drawing straight, show that the line segment goes through a second part, and then this arrow means it goes on forever. So a ray starts at a point and continues on forever. But we still give it two letters to give a name to it. So you could say ray, MN, or mathematicians use this fancy sign, which is just an arrow. So it means that it stops or begins at the edge and then continues on forever. Okay, a ray. You can think of it like a sun's ray. A line segment does not continue forever. A line segment starts at a point and ends at a point. And we use just a straight line to describe it. So line segment AB is how you would say it. Or you can just use AB and draw a line segment over it. Now, if you combine these two, a ray and a line segment, you could get a line, right? A line has 2 points inside at least, but it can go on forever in either directions. Okay, so a line keeps going forever. It doesn't stop. And we show this by putting an arrow on two ends. So really it's kind of like a line segment stops, a line goes on, and a ray is a little bit of both. It stops, but goes on forever on one end. Okay? So a line segment has a definite beginning and end. Ray has a beginning but no end. And a line has no end. It goes on forever. Today we're going to start talking about two different kinds of lines. And that is parallel lines, two lines that go on forever that always are the same distance apart. They're never going to touch. They're always just going to keep going and never run into each other. And we use a symbol, these two lines, to show that two lines are parallel. Lines that are always the same distance apart, parallel lines do not meet. There's another kind of lines, perpendicular lines. This is the symbol we use. Perpendicular lines meet at what we call a 90-degree angle. We're going to talk about degrees in lesson 4. But 90-degree angles, basically what it means is a corner, a straight corner. Look at this, how it fits right into there. It's a straight corner. Okay? Perpendicular lines meet, they cross at a very straight corner. Okay, and the definition is lines that meet or cross each other to form right angles. These are the right angles. Okay, let's get into lesson 2. Draw parallel and perpendicular lines. You can describe lines, rays, and line segments by the way they cross each other or do not cross each other. For example, Oliver was riding in the car and saw this sign. Describe how the outline segments cross each other or do not cross each other. Well, we see this line segment and this line segment, and see, they're always going to be the same distance across. If we measure them, see how they're straight here, and they just keep going on and keep going on. I don't really have anything quite to determine it, but it's about 3 of my fingers long. See how it continues on, straight. They're never going to meet. Parallel lines are always the same distance apart. They do not meet or cross. And you can see that here. These lines, if we put a ruler, we would see that these are exactly the same distance apart every place we measure it. Maybe we'll say this is 5 millimeters. So any place we'd measure, it'd still be 5 millimeters. Okay, this is how we draw it. So we would say line AB, okay, and this is line CD, and then we draw this symbol. There's 2 little lines in between. That means they're parallel. So we could say that these have parallel line segments. 2 L's, just like, see the symbol? You can see 2 L's. There you go. Okay. All right, and here's the other one. Intersecting lines. Lines that meet or cross each other are called intersecting lines. So they go through each other. They cross. Okay? Anytime a line crosses, that means they intersect. That's the word. And we don't have a fancy math symbol. We just say line AB intersects line CD. Intersects. And then we have this next one, perpendicular lines. Lines that meet or cross each other to form square corners, just like we showed you here, are called perpendicular lines. This means square corner. So if you see this little red symbol, it means this is a square corner. It means it's perpendicular. And here's the symbol we use. Okay, it's like this. So line AB is perpendicular to, that's how you say it, is perpendicular to line CD. So you have the AB, draw the line, draw the perpendicular sign, and draw CD. Like that. Okay. Describe the figure. Use parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting. Use the most specific terms. So I'm going to see, well, they're definitely not parallel, because if they're parallel, they would not cross. And I can see this is not a square corner. Look, not a square corner. So yes, they're intersecting, but that's not the most specific. Perpendicular is, not perpendicular, my bad. Intersecting. If it was square, then we would say it was perpendicular. But these just intersect. So if figures cross each other but do not form square corners, they are intersecting. So we'll work on naming these in class. I'm going to draw a unicorn today. I don't think I've tried to draw a unicorn yet. No. Horse. She's going to be like running. But the most important part, right? Okay. Oh, maybe magical flowing tail. All right, see you in class.